I've shown you the reading data, talked to you about preschool. Social studies teacher, the last time we met, we had not found a teacher to teach our college credit social studies class. And we've done some shifting and some moving around. And Mr. Kuhn, who teaches at our alternative school, has a master's degree that he'll finish this summer. He also has the necessary credits to teach Western Civ, so we'll be dropping college social, and we'll be adding Western Civ. Actually, our enrollment for the courses has gone up because more kids need Western Civ as they go on to post-secondary, then do sociology. So he'll teach first period at the high school. And our alternative school kids, if you remember his presentation to you, don't always start right away in the morning. And so we've got an associate who'll be in that building by 8:20 for things to start. She's a licensed teacher, but she's the associate that's there in the morning. So Kim will be there, and then as soon as he finishes teaching college credit, he'll head back to SAC and work at the alternative school the rest of the day. And we absorbed the rest of that social studies position. There were 2 other classes that we were looking for to be taught, so we absorbed those. So out of those 3 half-time positions that we had, half-time Spanish, half-time English, and half-time social studies, we ended up hiring a full-time Spanish teacher out of that, so we actually were able to reduce the half-time person out of that. And one of the comments it was more than one time in the superintendent's evaluation was to continue to think about reductions. And what I would want you to know, I think you should have confidence that I always feel like I'm looking at that, but this would be an example of one of those times where it's worked out so that we were able to do that. And if you remember, we had no applicants for any of those positions. We restructured it, advertised for a full-time Spanish teacher, and had 1 applicant. And we think she's maybe a quality teacher for us, but just know there isn't much for supply. I do have something in front of me that I can make copies for you if you'd like to look at it. It's a list of K-12 teaching positions, and there are huge shortages. The only place where teachers are plentiful are in early childhood licensed teachers and K-3 licensed. Every other area is, there are huge deficits. And they're predicting across the state, for instance, in some of the social studies areas like econ and government, where you have to have an endorsement for every one of those. There'll be as many as 250 teachers short beginning this school year. And people are just trying to piece things together. And it probably explains why we had no applicants for some of those positions that we had advertised for. Do you have a question or comment, Dan?
Yeah, because they used to have an encompassing social studies unit. It used to be, but they deleted that now and they've separated it out, is what you're saying.
Yep, now they've gone back to it again, though. Okay, they just reinstated the all social studies, and that was because schools said, well, you were having to take 24 credits in econ, 24 in government, 24 in geography. Well, every social studies, the teacher that came out had just 1 or 2 of those. And in smaller schools where you want someone to teach maybe 6 different social studies courses, they didn't have the necessary endorsement. So the superintendent sort of lobbied the legislature to get to the Bureau of Licensure, and so now they've reinstated the all social studies license. But the problem is nobody has that either, so everyone's on conditional licenses to get that. But we're fine. Our teachers are licensed. We've found that college credit teacher. The vocational areas are very short. Industrial tech, ag, business, auto body, everything that we offer is short in teachers. Music, very short. Counselors, principals. The only place where there's a plentiful supply is K-3. So if you know anyone going into education and you could talk them out of getting a K-3 degree and getting something above that, it would probably be smart as far as their job, the likelihood of finding a job once they get out of high school or once they get out of college. If we had an elementary opening today, we'd have 200 applications. I mean, we're just flooded around here with candidates. And but we set between BB and the DMAC 2+2 campus. So we have a lot of good applicants and we have openings. We just never have openings, but there's lots and lots of shortage areas. So mostly what I wanted you to know about was just the fact that we filled that social studies position, and I think that we filled it in a very good way, actually.